Marvel gave us two trailers at San Diego Comic-Con. We got one for She-Hulk and one for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Of course, I already did a trailer breakdown for that, so make sure to check that one out if you haven't already. It's actually a pretty decent trailer breakdown, in my opinion. But now we're going to go ahead and break down this trailer for the She-Hulk Disney Plus series. This is our final trailer. It comes out actually in a couple weeks now, so three-ish weeks, I think. So right around the corner. I'm definitely really excited for this one. I know a lot of people aren't just because of the bad CGI, which, I'll agree. It still doesn't look the best, but then again, you hear some of the recent stuff that's come out about how Marvel treats their VFX teams, and that's, it's starting to get a little understandable where it's coming from. But anyway, I'm still really excited for this. I think She-Hulk is a great character, and I'm really excited to see Tatiana Maslany bringing her life in the MCU. So, without further ado, let's jump into this and break down the official final trailer for Marvel Studios She-Hulk Attorney at Law. So we open up with a funny little bit here of Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters. She is sleeping, and then the Hulk, Professor Hulk, played by Mark Ruffalo, aka Bruce Banner, Professor Hulk, Smart Hulk, that whole thing going on there. And he's basically testing her. I mean, we get these really funny moments where, he wakes her up with an air horn and then is testing her of oh, is she gonna transform, is she getting angry, all this stuff. I mean, she definitely is angry, but not super rampage, oh, monster Hulk angry. So that's great. We just get basically a bunch of training montage here at the beginning, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Although, to be honest, the whole training part with the Hulk is probably the thing I'm least excited to see in this whole series. I mean, sure, it looks cool. I love this joke about the spandex. Spandex is your best friend. That's great. I mean, perfect for the Hulk. But I do feel like throughout this whole montage, they're basically just showing that She-Hulk is better than the Hulk, and she's nailing all of his tests, and it's kind of weird. I mean, he's been the Hulk for years, and it took him years to master this kind of stuff, and she gets it in a matter of days, months, however long it's been. That's kind of weird and kind of supports the whole MCU thing that has been talked about lately of feminism, and yeah, I'm all for female empowerment, but when you do it just to make the guy look bad, not a fan of that. So we do just get this great relationship here between Bruce and Jennifer. Again, just some cool training stuff, really cool shots. This is where the CGI does look pretty good, and actually She-Hulk is breaking the fourth wall. This is something she does in the comics. She was doing this way before Deadpool ever did it, so we already knew she was going to be doing it in the series. This is our first real look at it, where she's talking to us, the audience, so that's going to be pretty cool. Definitely something new for the MCU. And then we get the great green Marvel Studios logo. And we enter GLKH, which is the law firm that Jennifer Walters actually works for. And actually there is there was a Comic-Con exclusive She-Hulk poster with a phone number on it. I believe it was 877 She-Hulk. And if you actually call that number, there is an actual voice message from She-Hulk for the law firm. There's some pretty cool references to Thor and Iron Man. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's pretty fun. But basically, we get this voiceover saying that there's a bunch of new metahuman enhanced people out there in the world. We get the great look at Frogman once again. Not as good of a look at him as we got in the first trailer, but still, Frogman is in the MCU. That is still insane to me. We have this guy who just jumps out the window and is just absolutely fine. I have no idea who he is, or this character. There's a couple different weird powered individuals in this trailer that I'm not sure if they have a comic book counterpart. If they do, and you have any theories as to who they are, let me know in the comments below. But this guy is basically just alright, we're doing this new superhuman division, and we want the She-Hulk to head it up. So he's basically just using her for publicity for the most part, and she's like, okay, yeah, maybe it's just because I'm a really good lawyer. No, it's because you're green. And she is going to be representing Tim Roth's Abomination, aka Emil Blonsky, who apparently can now switch back and forth between being Emil Blonsky and Abomination. So we get a great look at this, and Tim Roth, great actor, so I'm excited to see him make his return as Abomination. She's just kind of okay, this guy's crazy. And She-Hulk has a nice interaction there. She's like, oh, I have a conflict of interest. This guy tried to kill my cousin. And the guy just doesn't care. He's like, sure, yeah, that's fine. And you can see this breaking news, big headline: She-Hulk to defend Abomination. And then we get to see She-Hulk actually in her fancy business attire, ready to go out and defend a case. And we get our good look at our main villain of the series, Jamila Jamil, as Titania. Now, really, I'm pretty sure we saw pretty much this exact same shot in the last trailer, just not as in focus. So this is our best look yet at the character, but we really don't know much about her involvement in the series. I mean, we've heard she's the main villain, but we still just haven't really even seen much from her. But it is a semi-comics accurate version of her outfit. If they go with the comics origin, she may be a wrestler, so that could be pretty interesting. And she's like, "Oh, I love this outfit. I gotta She-Hulk it out, but got to take off my shoes first and everything like that," and then she hulks out. So that's pretty cool. We get this cool fight between her and Titania. This is a great action shot right here. She-Hulk going in with the punch, Titania like just going straight at it with her legs, and She-Hulk is live streaming apparently. I don't know why she's doing that, but she is. There's some really good shots in the trailer, like this one, for example, where the CGI actually looks pretty good on She-Hulk, others where it doesn't. But then we get an introduction to Wong. Benedict Wong is returning as Wong, the MVP of the MCU so far. Honestly, Phase 4, it's just a phase of Wong, to be honest. So Wong is coming back. He's going to be working with Abomination, as we see here. We get a good look at the Wrecking Crew. So you can see kind of these like powered up Wrecking Crew tools, I guess you could say, like the Wrecking Ball right here. We have this, it looks like some sort of gauntlet. And we have Abomination in his cell actually hulking out or abominationing out. I don't know exactly what you would call it, but you can see after he does that Jennifer Walters not only is there but also Wong as well. So clearly this does tie into Wong's connection to Abomination that we saw in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So that's gonna be really cool to kind of get the explanation of like, why was he working with Abomination, what's his connection there, and all that's going on with that story there. Hopefully we're setting up for some future stuff with Thunderbolts, Abomination being in the Thunderbolts, and possibly also just a relationship between Wong and She-Hulk as well, because this could tie into the post-credit scene of Shang-Chi as well, with the whole Ten Rings mystery and like, oh, there's a threat coming and all that stuff. And this is one of the shots where the CGI doesn't look great, but it is a really funny joke where he's like, oh, we follow the rules of the Book of Ashanti. And she's like, no, we follow the rules of, the American laws. So that was a really funny joke. I enjoyed that. This is our best look yet at, again, what I believe is a version of the Wrecking Crew, a group in the comics, which is basically a group of individuals who get they're a construction crew who their tools get like empowered by Asgardian magic, and then they become the Wrecking Crew. And you have like Thunderball, and you have the Wrecker, you have Pile Driver, you have Bulldozer. And I don't think this is a one-to-one representation of these characters. I think it's just going to be taking the basic idea of like, oh, it's a construction crew / gang of thugs that now have powered up construction weapons. So you can see again the Wrecking Ball there. Looks like the Wrecker's crowbar as well. So that'll be cool to see, and She-Hulk's gonna go up against them. That'll be fun. Here's another shot of She-Hulk in her dress going to that gala fancy event that we saw in the last trailer. Here's some sort of magical character who like disappears here in the courtroom. We get another look at Jamila Jamil's Titania, now in a more formal outfit. We do get a great shot of actually how the last trailer ended with She-Hulk getting it on, if you know what I mean. Which also is actually a pretty big part of the character in the comics. Speaking of comics and doing it, we recently got introduced to Hercules in the post-credit scene for Thor: Love and Thunder. She and Hercules did quite a bit of this stuff, so you never know. They could get together in the MCU as well. Then we have a look at who I believe is actually Damage Control. After seeing Damage Control in action on the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus series, I'm pretty sure these are the same agents, so it looks like the Department of Damage Control is going to be involved in She-Hulk as well, which of course makes perfect sense. And then we have a great shot of Jennifer hulking out once again. and fighting just this weird dog alien creature. I don't even know what it is, but it definitely looks weird. And then we get a nice shot of She-Hulk again in like this therapy group of like a bunch of people with powers. I don't know any of them. Again, if these seem like any characters from the comics that you know, let me know in the comments below. And then more interaction between Hulk and Jennifer, more training, and her flipping him off, which I assume is going to be unblurred in the actual series final cut on Disney+. So that is the trailer. We pop up with the title card, but then, oh, you thought it was over. It was already a pretty good trailer, but then we get to the best part when, first of all, we get to see She-Hulk in her final form, her final suit from the series. So I'm assuming this takes place in like one of the last couple episodes of the show. It's a 9-episode series. I love this suit. It's super comics accurate. I love the shade of purple. I love the white. It's a great looking suit, but then she gets like, ambush, surprise attack by, this mysterious figure wearing a yellow and red suit. Who is this character? Well, it is none other than Daredevil, Charlie Cox Daredevil, wearing the yellow and red suit from the comics. We've been hearing about this for a while now, that Charlie Cox will be appearing in the series as Daredevil. I believe he's only going to be in like 2 or 3 episodes, which, would have been nice to see him in more, but it makes perfect sense for him to show up here because, of course, he's a lawyer, Jennifer is a lawyer, although it is kind of funny that the first time we see them meeting each other is not in the courtroom, but actually just out on the street somewhere. And again, just like other scoopers have been saying, he is going to be wearing the yellow and red suit. So that's pretty awesome that our first ever appearance of Daredevil in the MCU actually wearing the Daredevil suit is going to be in his yellow and red suit, because I believe that was his original look in the comics before he ever got the full red Daredevil suit. But we didn't get a full look at him. It's pretty much just shots from behind, but from what we did see, I think it looks pretty great, and I'm really, really excited to see this. So guys, that is the official final trailer from Marvel Studios She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Pretty good trailer, definitely better than the first one. And again, I'm hyped for this series. I'm still really excited for it. Again, the CGI is still kind of iffy, but for the most part, it looks like a good show. I love Hulk, and I love the Hulk world of characters. So I'm excited to see that that's finally getting explored here, especially with some really obscure characters, and having this be a half-hour legal comedy, dealing with just random superpowered characters like Frogman in here, and just fully expect a bunch of weird, crazy cameos. I believe I read something originally that Howard the Duck was going to show up here as well, so you never know. But for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about this final trailer for Marvel Studios She-Hulk Attorney at Law? Now, make sure to go check out that Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer breakdown as well. Also, my other news videos from San Diego Comic-Con as well. I'll be doing some other stuff today also. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.